Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another stream, another video. This is the return of the BMPT Terminator tank by Meng. This is a 1/35th scale version of it, and we're continuing today. I believe this is going to be part 5 of the build. We've got quite a bit done already, and where we left off was assembling the parts on the upper hull. So we have the lower hull done, at least for the most part. The wheels are done, they'll just sit on the side here. And yeah, so that's the lower hull. And we have our upper hull. And so we have more parts to continue on to this thing before we start really getting into the nitty-gritty of it. Now, of course, the instructions have told us to already put the wheels and the tracks on and to actually assemble the two halves, but we're not going to do that yet. Why not? Because we've got painting to do. Got a nice little camouflage pattern that I'm going to be putting on there, and then of course got all mud and dust effects for all of the wheels and everything like that to make this tank look like it's actually been used and not just sitting in a museum somewhere. So we need to continue. And so what do we need here? We've done up until this point. We do have this one part here that they do want us to put on, but it's going to interfere with the assembly of the two halves if I put it on now. So I need to wait and put this on later. I think it actually goes like this. This is going to go on later. Okay, so we have that put aside, but we've got more stuff we can put on here. So we need our C and D trees and our M. So let's take a look here. C, D, and M. Those are F's. Not going to help us. There's a B. That won't help me. There's a D. I got my D. My D is ready to go. Okay. C. Here's the C. And I need M. M is just these two guys here. M3. And that's going to be it. So, where is M? M is in here somewhere. I know that. There's M. We have two M trees. We've got two M trees. Okay. Because usually when they want two of one thing, you got to take one off of here and one off of there. So we'll just put these here for now. Looks like I'm going to need B, a lot of B next. So I'll just put these here. And let's see what we need here. So we'll start with C10. This is going to be this big piece here. I'm going to change my glasses up. Okay. C10, this guy here. Ooh, he looks kind of delicate. He's got this part right here, very, very flimsy. And he's got some extra nubs on him, which these guys have been kind enough to include for me. Extra nubs for no reason. Not sure why. This is okay. So I'll confess, this is my first Meng kit. I've never built a Meng kit before, so I guess maybe I've been, I don't know, treated to not having to do a lot of cleanup on as far as nubs and things like that, and ejector pin marks. That's something to keep in mind. So this is going to go on like this, and we're going to line up these two pegs Where do they go? It looks like they go in right here and here, which makes these two go right there. So that's going to go in like this, like so. And we've got a little piece here. That's number C25. We actually got two of them. It's going to go on that. C25, they look like little shock absorbers. And there's 25 and 25. There's two of them right here. One, and we got two. Okay, but we also need C12. That's this piece here, and that's another one. This guy looks a little bit delicate, so try and be careful with it and not to bend it as I take it off of the screw. Okay, there we go. Okay, so again, he's also got some nubs on him that need to go away, and then clean those up. Alrighty. Okay, and he's gonna fall on the paper. He's going to go right here and kind of complete this little guard area that this is making up. So I should be able to fit him down right in there like that. And that's perfect. Now, of course, he's going beyond this guard here. So what's the option? Put it on the outside or the inside? I think if I put it on the inside like this, it's probably it doesn't look right. It's too much of an angle. And this piece kind of is enjoying being on the outside like that, and just sitting in its home, just kind of like that. And so that's how I'm going to leave it. And so I am going to glue it like that. I'm going to use both my glues. A little bit on this part, a little bit here where it touches, and I'm tempted to put some on the back of this where it goes against there, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to smear a whole bunch of glue on it and then it doesn't even touch or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is use thin stuff, and using the capillary action that is inherent of this, it can just flow to wherever it needs, wherever it's touching. And that way it'll be nice and happy and stay in its spot wherever it happens to be touching. And there we have one. And so we have the second one, which goes in right beside it there. So what I didn't pay attention to is how this part sits. We've got a big mark right there that needs to clean off. Don't know if that's interfering with the fitment at all, but we're going to find out. So I want to see, when I put this in its spot, where does that go? It goes right against the edge there. Just kind of barely touches. So put some glue on our little pegs. I'm not sure if it touches the ground or not, but we'll do that. And we'll put this in its spot, just like so. Okay. It kind of does touch the other fence. I don't know what you call it, fence, a guard. It's a something. And a little bit more. I don't think that's touching anywhere there. Now it's in. That's where it's supposed to be. That's much better. Okay. So now we got a little shocks. There are two little holes on the deck here, and then a hole here on the guard. There's actually a third, but we're going to get to that in a bit. So we're going to need this. We need it facing the right direction, and we're going to put a little glue on there. And try and line this up. Again, I'm going to try and line this up. Hopefully get it in the spot where it belongs. Of course, getting it to actually go in the hole is always a tough part, especially if the hole don't line up properly. Literally pulled it out of the hole to get it to line up with that one. This is where I hate this kind of stuff. I really do. This is not my idea of fun modeling. The parts don't want to go in their holes for whatever reason. And it makes me want to take the fence off of the model and put this thing in that hole first, because it just doesn't want to go in. It seems to be in now. I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I got it. Okay, so now we have our second one to do. Of course, lining up that hole in the actual fence is the hard part. and miraculously, I lined it up just like that. I don't know how I did that. Thank you, Lord. I did it. I mentioned before that I think my thin glue has kind of reached its point where I'm not getting a lot on the brush unless it's closed. It seems to just barely be dipping in there. Okay, so we do have a third one. C24 needs to go on. Where does it go? There's a hole right down in here. And then it's got to line up on the fence also. Oh yeah, there's a little hole right there. Boink. Okay, so C24 is this guy here. Okay. So let's see how stubborn this one is. Help if I could see the hole in the fence. It's right there. Let's try. Maybe I have it upside down. Okay, screw that. Let's make this hole just a little bit bigger. Yes, cheating a little bit. Now I'm not going to have a problem with it going in its hole. There we go. That solved it. All right. And with the hole bigger, I can actually put in a little on this side too. And from the underneath. Okay, so those are on. Those are done. What's next? We have this long rod and this piece. So we need D2 and D16. Grab my D. D2 and 16. So D2 is this little funky piece right there, and I need 16. That's this guy here. This long, gangly looking rod. There we go. And of course, it has this really funky looking thing on it. That's got to come off. There we go. And it's a really weird looking piece. Total like afterthought. And we've got to clean this one up. We've got to get that little nub off of there. Okay. On the garbage. So it looks like this has to go down first. This is a little bit bent, needs to be straightened out. this piece looks like it goes right along this edge here, and then it comes up the side. So how exactly it goes on. Oops, don't bend it. Careful. Careful now. So it's got to go like this. It looks like these pieces are going to line up into those little slots. Or it's just going to not want to go on at all. It's almost like it's upside down. It's very strange. There's no real pins. It's got these little dents right there, there, and there, which line this up. It lines up with that, that, and that. But this is curved up. So it's like it's not really meant for it. It's weird. It just doesn't sit right. You know. I'm going to look at this closer. Okay, so there's 3 little blocks that are actually beside it, and those are what's got to go in those slots. So if I line up those blocks, these things that are curved upward actually, it sits better, yeah. Okay, so that's how it's going to sit. It kind of just sat right in its spot. So I'm going to grab my new glue so that I can get the glue where it needs to be to hold this guy in his place where he belongs. Just like that. And that little rod that's going down the side, well, that can just fall where it may. Now, D2 has to go onto that rod. How do they want that sitting? Looks like we want it sitting like this. This is another one of them little pieces that sticks up that I was thinking that I'm going to lose it. I don't even remember where that piece, that other one was that I figured I was going to lose. I honestly don't remember it, where it went. But anyway, this one has to go down over here, and I can see the little spot they want me to put it in. It's right there. Okay. So, but of course, again, they've got a super tiny little hole for that peg to go in. And that peg, I remember now this other part. I wound up getting rid of that peg. And I'm going to get rid of it on this one too. Because it just won't go. So, clean the peg off. Now I can put some glue on the part. And it will go where it's supposed to. And I remember now it's on this other side. It's the exact same thing. Yeah. Exact same thing, except it was on this side. It's right here. That's where the other part is. So, make sure it's straight. Yep, it is. We're good to go. Okay. So, moving on. Continuing on the back. Now, these are the back panels that are going to go here and here. Okay? We want C21 and 22. It's these two guys here. Okay. So that's, this was, which one was this one? 22. So that's this side. Okay, it's going to go like that, I believe. And then this is 21. And 21 is on this side. Doink. And it's going to go like this. So I might have this one upside down. But it's got a bunch of holes in it. See, it's got that little marking, and that marking's there. So this one goes like this. Okay, so let's clean these up, make sure they're going to fit proper. Tell you, after just finishing that SR-71 build today, there's so much more detail in this tank than there was on that SR-71. There's really not much to assemble on that plane. Okay, so I need C19 and 20. They look like taillights to me. Here we are. 19. 19 goes with this one. 20 goes with this one. Now, is that an extra thing to take off? Yes, it is. There we go. This one too. There we go. So these are garbage. Ouch. Okay, so this is a little peg. It's going to go in that little hole. This peg is going to go in that hole. Oh, it's at a little angle. It's a funny angle. It's a little weird, but whatever. Okay. Now, I do want to mention, if you guys are watching my videos, you guys who watch me all the time and watch my videos, you may have noticed a couple of times in my last video where it kind of went quiet, a little bit silent maybe, and that's because the music I have playing in the background, I like to have like maybe piano versions of a normal song with no lyrics or anything like that, just going in the background, just for, you know, something to listen to, something, so it's not just me talking, right? But YouTube doesn't like to leave music alone and just let it play, because, well, maybe you guys didn't pay for it, and so you don't get to listen to it without their consent, blah blah blah. And yeah, so they want to demonetize my channel if they hear something like that, and so I have to basically cut the volume down on the video down to nothing for that section while the music's playing. So it kind of, well, it ruins it for everybody. It makes me have to mute that section of my video, pretty much. Not that I really have a lot to say that's like crucial to anything, unless I'm actually, you know, trying to show you guys something that's unique. But for the most part, it's not a big deal. But that's why, if you guys noticed, I've got some silent section of my video all of a sudden. That's why, because I've had to basically mute that section. So this, I guess, keep on dropping it, come on. This is basically like a little guard that goes around the light, I guess, like this. Now they have holes for it, but of course the holes are so small that it's not just going to stay on its own. My stupid tweezers can actually hold it. Of course, when I got it right on the page, I can't see the holes. I'm trying to get them lined up so that I can hold it. And I just bent, piece of crap. See, again, when you play with it too much, you break it. I'm going to try and get this lined up now. I am not great with delicate parts, I'll tell you that much right now. Of course, that's not even in the hole. It's close. And it'll do the job. It's going to get the job done. And I guess that's what counts the most. So there we go. We've got our little guard around that light. Okay. So you can sit there all happy. And now we've got to do the same with this, but with this we don't have holes. We've got two little notches on the top, right there and there. Okay. So this one poses a slightly different problem. It doesn't have to sit in the hole. It just has to stay in one piece while I clean this up. Because I've got a nasty nub mark there. It just doesn't look right. Okay. Alright, so let's try this one. See if it lines up. And it kind of does. I think I can get away with just putting some glue on there and then setting it in those little notches. So we'll try that and see how this goes. Yeah, dropping the whole thing, that'll help a lot. think we got it. I think we're okay. Make sure that's flush in there. I think we're good. I think we got it. Not bad. Not bad. I do want to put a little bit of this on there just to make sure we're going to stay nice. These pieces will probably be broken off by the time I'm finished anyway, right? And it'll be all for nothing. Okay, now one thing I'm not sure is it going to interfere with the tracks. I don't think it's going to interfere with my track installation at all because it's up high. Let me just double check. If I put this on, it's going to sit roughly like this. Doesn't want to line up. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's on, right? Now the track's going to go through here. That should, hopefully, no, that's not going to be an issue. Okay, we are safe. Okay, so this one, let's let that sit since I did this one first. This just lines up and goes on there. Any guiding pins or anything? Yes, there's a little notch here for that little peg to go in. And that should let us know how far up that's supposed to sit. Exactly, just like that. Okay. So with that, put some glue where that peg goes, and here, here, just like that. Maybe put a little bit here too. It's probably a lot more than I need. That slid in quite nicely there. So there we go. There's one side put on. Test fit this one. Looks pretty good. This one actually goes underneath of this little box lip here. So again, for the peg, for the top, for this edge, looks good. Lots more glue, lots more than what I really need for it. It slides in nice and fits just perfect. Nice. Okay, those are on. And I think that's it for the number 18, this little section. Rear hull parts. Yes, looks like we are good to go. Funny enough, I did that wrong, attaching that little guard on this side. They wanted me to slide it underneath the back of the box here first, and then put the thing on. So I did it wrong, but it worked out great. So there we go. Okay, so that's done. And we can move on. Number 19, more rear hull parts 2. We need C9. Which looks like it might be our last C part. Yeah, I think so. Oh no, we got one more here. And I bet this guy's going to go on that little empty spot there. So it looks a lot like it would fit right there. Anyway, we need C9. That's this guy here. Okay, and get rid of his little extra nub. And then we need some parts off of the B tree. This looks like it's just going to be a cover. So if we have the tank sitting like this, C9 is kind of going to go over that fence a little bit and take up this little spot. Kind of like that. Yeah, literally just like that. So let's take a look at the underside of C9. There's nothing to guide me as far as where that's exactly how it's supposed to overhang or not, except we have this little spot here that's hanging down, and that's going to go right in between here, in between where this fence stops and this piece. So that's my guide as to how far it goes. So what I can do with that is a little bit of glue on this edge, on here, here, and then along the top of this fence. Just that part. And that's how it goes. I just find it funny how everything fits until you put glue on it. Everything fits until you put glue on it. Does not make sense. That seems to be the way it goes, just like that. Okay. So we need off of the B tree, 29 and 31. Where's my B tree? Got my M's. There's my B. B. 29 and 31. It's 25, 31. Here's 31. This little fence. Okay. And 29 is another shock. 29 right here. I already can sense I'm going to have fun with this. Okay, so let's see if this needs cleaning up. And it does. I wonder what these little fences, like, what's the purpose of them in real life? I know the purpose of these ones are to make me mad, but what purpose do they have on the actual tank? I'm actually seeing a conflicting thing here. So after this is put on, oh no, it's not conflicting. It's just two fences right side by each. I don't want to lose my little shop. I'm going to slide him over there. Okay, so this fence goes at the back of this. Trying to find the notches where this one's supposed to go. I think. So it doesn't really show me, other than the fact it's just at the back here. There's a little hole right here, and that might be where it's supposed to go in. That might be it, but there isn't one on this side. There's a hole here, but I don't think that's for it. It could be for this peg. If I line that up there, that hole, if I line that up, hold it in that spot, it doesn't really work. And of course there's no, I'm not seeing any hole on the other side, on this side. Possibly that could be it. There's a little tiny, I need to have this facing the right direction. If I put it in there, it does line up sort of like that, but not really. It's almost like they just want me to just put it down wherever it's going to go. It's really kind of ridiculous. Kind of will sit like this, but because of the way it's situated, it's not, it's forcing it to lean back. What do we got here? Superman, hello again. Long time no see. Yeah. Superman 420. Oh, it has been a long time. It's been about a year, hasn't it? Something like that. So I can put it in this spot, but it's not really fitting right. And of course I'm supposed to mount the shock between the center here and on this peg. So I have to consider that also. Can you say Badusi? Badusi? I think I just said Badusi. So yes, I can. Can you say Badusi? Thank you, I can. So, so why did you want me to say Badusi? No way. It's been a year. Check my chat logs. I'll have to check them later. It seems like it's been a year. It feels like it anyway. Just a fun word. Come on. There's got to be a gotcha. It's got to be one of those Gotham's Badusi. Am I supposed to ask what a Badusi is? I don't mind. I can play along. It's going pretty good. Other than having COVID for the last week, it's been going pretty good. So that's roughly how that's supposed to go, and then this fence is supposed to go there. So if I kind of line that up with that, I get a better idea of exactly where that's supposed to go in. Okay. So I'm just going to put glue there, there, and then where the peg is supposed to go. Yeah, this is actually my second round of COVID. I had it long. I got COVID once before there was any vaccinations, and that put me through hell for quite a while. That one really sucked. But of course, I'm now triple vaccinated, so this time it was more just like a bit of a cold, really. It was only, and I only got tested because, you know, had a sore throat for a few days and it wasn't going away. And so I called my doctor, and my doctor was like, "Oh, have you been tested?" And I said, "No." "Well, you should be tested." Okay, so I test, and boom, it comes back positive. I was like, damn it, come on. But hey, what can you do? Okay, so I forgot that fence on. Now I got to build another one. So I need B25. Second round been easier. Yeah, the second round has been easier. It's just stuffed up nose, and I wake up with a sore throat. Suck on a Halls for a little while, and the sore throat goes away, and everything's good. But then, yeah, just stuffed up nose. That's about it. A little bit of coughing. It's just like a mild cold. But I've had the week off work because of it. So, yeah, that's not too bad. I also need B18 and B30. B30. 6.5. Where's 30? Ah, B30 right here. Another little shock right there, and I need B18. This little grid frame, not grid, it's a frame. Bing. Hey, more time for stream, that's right. You ever built a MiG-21? Personal favorite? No, I haven't built any MiGs. I don't know. For me, I never liked the MiGs because they're just a little too blocky shaped, right? Just straight edges and yeah. But I do have a Su-57 in my lineup of things to build, but no MiGs, unfortunately. Yeah, if you're a fan of the MiGs, no, I've never built one. I've never, yeah, I don't know, when I was growing up, I always thought, you know, Russian planes, no way, no way, I'm not building no Russian planes, it's got to be American. USA, you know, they make the coolest ones. But yeah, FW-190A, have you made any of those? FW-190s, no. I confess, I have not built any of those either. Oh, wait a minute. I did build a Focke-Wulf. I did. I'd have to look at my YouTube. I believe I did. Maybe about 6 months ago. I'd have to look at my YouTube channel. I built two little 1/72nd scale airplanes. One was a P-51 Mustang, and the other was a Focke-Wulf. It might have been the 190A. It's possible. You got me thinking now. I think I did build one, but it was just a little 1/72nd scale, like this size plane. Just a little guy, right? I like the MiG-21, otherwise I'm all American. Yeah, when I was younger, it was all about the F-15. You know, if it's not as good as an F-15, it sucks. And of course, I was also into Transformers as a teenager, so the Decepticons all had F-15s, so the F-15 is obviously the best plane in the world. And because otherwise, why would the Decepticons choose one of those, right? Anyway, that's the way I thought about it. Okay, so what do we have to do here? We need to take, we got to get our photo etched parts. Got to grab the photo etched. That's always fun stuff. Photo etched. Here we go. Other pieces fell out of my bag here. Okay, that is for the mirrors, and these go back in. I don't want to lose these parts. Figured out what these little stickers are. These are for the mirrors. They gave me chrome stickers for the mirrors. Okay, so I need X13. That looks like it's going to be this big long piece here. Let's flip this over and make sure. Yes, sir. X13. So, let's see here. There we go. Okay. Of course, we're going to have to Swedish Jazz 39. I can't say I've thought about it much. Trying to picture that off the top of my head, and I'm not sure. Go nice and smooth. Jazz 39. I'm going to have to Google that. Jazz 39. Give me a second here. Oh, the Gripen. Is it pronounced Gripen? I know it's like spelt like would be Gripen, but I think it's Gripen, right? I've seen that. I've seen that on like that. What the heck do they call that now? The flight combat simulator. And it looks like it's a very high-performing plane. Very competitive. DCS, that's it. Digital Combat Simulator, yeah. I like watching Growling Sidewinder on that particular, his YouTube channel. I like watching him. He's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. I like how calm he is, no matter what's going on. He never gets rattled, even though what's the other guy's name that sometimes flies with him when he's in the F-14s? And he's always like, "That's it, I'm ejecting." He gets shot with like 2 bullets, and the guy's ejecting. I can't remember who it is now. It's pretty funny. Okay, so this has to go on which side? Which side does this go on? Drew Skill. I haven't seen him. Yeah, Longshot, that's it. That's his name, Longshot, yeah. Yeah, he's funny. A total different personality. You go on Longshot's channel and he's a totally different guy. But when he's teaming up with GS, he's pretty funny. Okay, so it looks like this has got the notches in it to fit right in like that. Just like that. So I got to get my super glue, or CA glue, however you want to say. And we're going to glue this thing in. So, grab my nice thick super glue. Let's tighten these up just so I make sure I don't spill anything. Grab a toothpick. And make sure we've got some glue laid down on here. Not too much, of course, just enough. You only need just enough. Of course, you get it on your fingers, then parts start sticking to you, and now you're glued to the part. Okay, just want to make sure we're in the slots where we're supposed to be. You'll see, I've got some on my finger. A little too much, right? It's always a sign of too much. And I pushed it through on here, so I don't want that. There we go. Okay, we're looking good. Okay, Drew Skill. I'm going to have to check out Drew Skill. Okay, let's put that there. Now, with this on there, just going to make sure it hasn't got any excess. We're looking pretty good. Nice and flat and straight, where it belongs and where it's supposed to be. That's the main thing, right? Okay, so now this has to go on, and it is going to go in front of this fence, like this, almost in the right spot, like this. And is there a hole on that side? In similar fashion to the other fence, there is no actual hole. No, I'm just looking at a shadow. There's a tiny little notch that looks like that could be where it's supposed to go. So I'm just going to line it up there, and maybe not. Let's try this. With it in the hole there, just going to line up. doesn't really line up to anything. But again, we've got to put our little shock on this one too, and it looks like it's just going to go in that little notch. There's no hole, it's just a little notch there. So once again, we've got a little shock to deal with, and it's got to go in there, this. So I'm going to glue it down first. What's your main profession? What's your favorite jet fighter era? My main profession is I work as a parts person for a forklift dealership. So if you think of the guys that sit at the counter at your local car dealership in the parts department, I'm one of those guys, except instead of cars, our company sells and repairs forklifts. You're a certified forklift driver. Yeah, so am I. What I find funny about getting your forklift ticket, it's harder to maintain your forklift driver's license than it is your car. Like, can you imagine if people had to take their driver's license exam every 3 years? They just simply wouldn't, right? Okay, so we have this installed, but it needs to be pushed back so it's straight. Like this. Because this has to go on top across both of them. And this is going to go in this direction. And it's just going to lay down on top. Like doink, like that. So we can put some glue down on top of this, and glue on top of this one, and then we can just lay it down. And we've kind of built ourselves a little box, sort of. Putting a little bit of pressure to hold it down for that glue to set. I'm from where we don't have to renew. Really? Where are you from? A2, B1, and B3 trucks. I'm guessing you're from somewhere in Europe, because we don't classify them. We got class 1, class 2, and class 3, class 4. Here in the Canadas. Okay, so I didn't get any glue on this one, so that's got to be fixed. Sweden. Ah, okay. That makes sense. So you guys classify your forklifts a little differently than we do. And here we've got to renew our license every 3 years. Basically just a bit of a written test and then a short little competency test you have to do for whatever trucks that you might be using it for your work, wherever you're employed. So there we go, we finally got this done. That little box is finished now with our little grid in there. You can see that on there, little camera. We just have a good test, so we only need to do it once. Yeah, I guess for Canada's safety regulations, they found after a few years, people they develop bad habits. It's just like driving a car, right? after so much time, you get comfortable with it. You start doing things that aren't necessarily best safety practice. And yeah, so they decided, you know what? We're going to have everybody in Canada have to take their tests um, every 3 years to just refresh all the safety things about it, right? So with that page done, it looks like our next step is doing the side skirts. Now, these are the ones that are going to hang down to protect the wheels. So we can assemble them, but I'm not going to put them on because, well, obviously I don't have the wheels on yet. So they're going to be one of the more, when we're almost complete steps. And we haven't even gotten to the actual turret. Haven't even built anything for the turret yet. So, looks like our big pieces here off of the D tree. I love the D tree. Side skirts are useless. Yes, but they look like they do something, don't they? And yeah, they are. They're just light and thin, but it's better than nothing, right? It's better than nothing. Let's see. So D13 and 14, obviously these big main pieces here. It needs a spoiler for more downforce. That's right. And don't forget the stripes. Stripes make you go faster. You gotta have the stripes. Yeah, exactly. 100 horsepower easy. Now, D3, 4, and 5. Also, everything off the D tree. There's 4. Five, and this is 3. All right, so there's my D. Always happy when I get to grab the D. Look at all these extraction pin marks. Holy crap. That's crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My big? I don't know. Who's my big? You want to show me your D? I'd like to hear more about my big. My big sidewinder in your plane. That was a lot more wholesome of a response than what I was expecting, to be honest. Alright, so all those stupid ejector pins are removed. You couldn't be mean to me. come on now. Okay, so we're going to take D13 and D3. D3 is going to go into D13. And it's going to sit like this. So it's just some kind of a little rail that's going to go in here. Like this. And you see, you add the rail, and that strengthens it up, and that makes this very worthy to be armor on the side of the tank by adding this little rail. You were thinking of another answer? I was too, but I wasn't. I don't know, the correct answer was not coming to mind. Okay, I gotta clean these up a little better now. So now that I'm actually adding a part into it, I gotta make sure it's clean. One more. There we go. Okay, so that's cleaned up properly now. So now this has to go in right there. And they do have this little guide here and here, but I don't see anything on this actual piece. So I'm just kind of guessing. It goes like this. It kind of sticks out a little bit like that. So let's get our glue. I think I have to go since it's literally 4 a.m. Holy crap. What are you doing up at 4 in the morning? And you're drunk as fuck. Alright. Well, have a good sleep. Make sure to have a good drink of water before you pass out. Otherwise you get hungover, right? Yeah, have a good one. Okay. So just making sure that's in the little channel like it's supposed to be. And there we go. So we have this little guy now nicely armored up. And so I think what I'm going to do is I will do the other one and then we're going to call it a day. Okay? So we'll get the other side done and then that'll be it for now. Seems like, you know, with the amount of detail that you have to put into this thing, it work on it, work on it, work on it, and you haven't really got a lot done, it doesn't seem, right? What have I done today? I installed a little box and the taillights, and now side skirt armors pieces, and that's it. It doesn't seem like a lot for the amount of time it's taken me. But we're not in a rush, are we? That's the whole point of this. I mean, sure, it would be nice to. Um, Sometimes it's nice to build a model that's just nice and quick and easy and done. But there are times when you want to take your time and do a nice quality job. And with one that's like lots of detail and everything like that. Like the SR-71 that I just finished, that one only took me a few days, and there wasn't a super huge amount of detail, not a lot of stuff to assemble on it, and it was fun. It was a nice little detour from the norm, right? And that's kind of what I like about the Gundams that I build. Because a Gundam build is a totally different type of build, right? It's not about making sure the parts fit together, right? There's never any issue with that on a Bandai kit. With Bandai, it's all about the customization. And then, of course, there's all that posability and everything and how you display it and blah, 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 blah. Right? And that's Bandai. And again, it's fun to do something a little different from the norm just every now and then. So it doesn't get so just every time same thing, same thing, same thing. You know what I mean? Right? It's nice to get a little bit of difference in the stuff that you do. And it keeps it fun, it keeps it enjoyable. It doesn't become monotonous, right? Because let's face it, once it stops being fun, that's when you stop doing it, right? Pretty much. Pretty much. That's when you stop doing it, is when it stops being fun. So, we've got these two pieces on this piece now. And so our skirts are ready for assembly. Of course, they're not going to go on, but it will eventually wind up in a spot something like this. So I guess what happens is when this gets put on, nothing happens because they don't sit against anything. They're just sitting there. So never mind. So that's it. We're going to call it a day. We're going to leave it at that for now. We did get something done. We got some pieces put on there, and we got the backs put on here, and we got our skirts made. Next, it looks like we've got some parts to put on the back on the lower hull, where he's attaching cable, and we're going to assemble our cables, and that's what our little string of cable in here is for. And so we're going to be creating those and putting them on the back. Yeah, and that's next. And then it looks like we're going to start on the actual turret. And that'll be cool. Finally getting to do the turret. Alright, so I'm going to leave it at that for now, guys, and call it a day. And so, you guys watching on YouTube, why not head over to my Twitch channel and follow me on Twitch, and then you can get notified. You get an email when I go live, and then you can come on and you can watch me live, and you can talk to me just like Superman here did, and yeah, ask me questions, talk to me, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. Tell me I'm funny looking, whatever strikes your fancy. You can get me with a bunch of gotchas and stuff like that if you feel like. Troll me all you want. I'm into it. That's fine. So, follow me on Twitch. And if you made it this far in the video, why not hit the like button? And over here, hit the subscribe too. And once you subscribe, you can hit the little bell. Or the bell, I think, is the bell here? Or is it over here? I think the bell's over here. And then you'll get notified whenever I upload a new video too on YouTube. And if you want to see still pictures of all my things that I build, you can head over to my Instagram page. And I do have a Twitter, and I do upload on there too. It's just a little notification that I put up on YouTube. But I don't really go on that much. But But yeah, I'll put links down in the description box below. And so we can call it a day. Thanks guys for watching. Thanks for coming out. And thanks for the conversation there, Superman. That was awesome. And yeah, so we'll see you all in the next one.